Hello everyone. In this lecture we will study how to create a database table or how to create a transparent table in SAP. This is the initial screen of SAP. SC11 is the transaction code for ABAP dictionary or data dictionary. Now, before creating the table, we will see some examples of already created tables. Suppose this is the table, the name of the table is VBAK. This is the table which is created by SAP itself. It's a sales document table. Whenever we create a table, we have to provide the field names, we have to provide the data elements, as well as we have to provide the domains also. Now the question arises, what are these data elements and what are these domains? A domain tells us about the technical characteristics of any field. By the term technical characteristics, we means its data type and its length. So, in this example, suppose our field name is VBELN, so its data type, its character, and its length is 10. So, a domain tells us about the technical characteristics, means its data type and length are defined with the help of domain. Now what is data element? A data element tells us how a field, how a column is visible to the end user. Suppose our field name is VBLN, but the description of this is sales document. So end user will see this description sales document. So data element tells us how the field is visible to the end user, or the description is given with the help of data element. Now we will create one table. In this table we will create domains, we will create data elements, then we assign this domain and data elements in the table. Now we will create one employee table. That employee table has 3 columns. The first column name is employee ID, the second column name is employee name, the third column name is employee designation. Now for these 3 fields of the table, we will create 3 domains, then we will create 3 data elements. Firstly, we will start with the creation of the domain. This is the radio button which is used to create the domain. Now, whenever we are creating a customer specific object, its always first name must start with Z or Y. Firstly, I am creating a domain for the employee ID. I am creating a domain for the employee ID. It's already exists, so I am providing some another name. Firstly, I have to provide the short description. Employee ID. As we have already discussed, a domain tells us about the technical characteristics, means we have to provide the data type and we also have to provide the length. Suppose our employee ID is of numeric type and its length is suppose 5. Now whenever we are creating something in SAP, firstly we have to save it. I am saving it as a local object. Then we have to check for the syntax of this object. Then after that we have to activate this object. Now this is in active mode. Now we will create one domain for the employee name. Then again short description, employee name. Suppose our employee name is of character type and its length is 40. Now I am saving this object. I am checking for the syntax of this object. Now I am activating this object. Now I am creating a domain for employee designation. Again, I have to provide the short description. Its data type is character. Suppose designation has a length of 5. Now I am saving this object. I am checking for the syntax of this object. Now I am activating this object. So far we have created 3 domains, one for employee ID, another for employee name, and last one for employee designation. Now we will create 3 data elements, one for employee ID, one for employee name, and one for employee designation. So for creating the data elements, this is the radio button from where we can create the data elements. Again, we are creating a customer specific object, so it's always first name must start with Z or Y. Z employee data element for employee ID. First radio button, data element, yes. Then I have to provide the short description, employee ID. Now here we have to provide the domain name which we have already created for employee ID. So our domain name is ZD employee ID underscore. Now whenever we are providing the domain name, its data type and length will be automatically appear here. Now a data element tells us how a field is visible to the end user, or how we can provide the description. So this is the tab, the field label, where we will provide the description. Employee ID, or where we have to provide the labels. Now I have to save this object. I have to check for the syntax of this object. Now I am activating this object. Now we will create another data element for employee name. Yes, the short description is employee name. Now here we have to provide the domain name which we have created for employee name. ZD employee name underscore. Whenever we are providing the domain name, its data type and length will be automatically appear here. Now I am saving this object. I am checking for the syntax of this object. Now I am activating this object. Now we will create the last data element of for employee designation. Click on this create button. Yes. Employee designation. Here we have to provide the domain which we have created for employee designation. Employee designation underscore. Now here I have to provide the field label. Employee designation, employee designation, employee designation. Now I am saving this object, checking for the syntax of this object. Now I am activating this object. Now so far what we have done, we have created 3 domains, we have created 3 data elements. Now we will create one database table. In that table we will map these domains and data elements. Now this is the first radio button for creating a database table or for creating a transparent table in the SAP. So as we have already discussed, whenever we are creating a customer specific object, its always first name must start with Z. So suppose I am creating a employee table, Z employee detail. Click on this create button. Firstly, I have to provide the short description for this table. Suppose my description of the table is employee detail. Now, whenever we are creating a table, firstly we have to provide the delivery class. Suppose I am taking the delivery class as A. What is this delivery class? We will explain in the next lectures. Now here we have to provide the data browser / table view maintenance options. Suppose here I am taking the option display maintenance allowed. We will also explain this in the next lectures. What is this? Now we will move on to this third tab, fields. Now here we have to provide the field names. Now whenever we are creating a table, the first field name that we have to provide is MANDT. This is the default field which we have to take in the table at the time of table creation. This is the field for the client. Suppose here we are taking a SAP system. What is the client number of this system? That is 800. Suppose the client number for this is 800. The client number of the system is 800. Yes, this is 800. So this field will return the client number, and the data element for this is MANDT. Our first field name is MANDT. Now for MANDT, our data element is MANDT. First column name is MANDT. So I am cancelling it and we will again create the table. I click on this create button. My short description of the table is employee detail. Suppose my delivery class is A, and I will take this option display maintenance allowed, which we will explain later. My first column name is MANDT. Then in this employee table, our first column name is employee ID. Here we have to provide the data element which we have created for employee ID. For employee ID, we have created a domain, we have created a data element whenever we are providing the data element which we have created, its data type, its length and its short description will automatically appear here.
Ahmedabad IUPI class.